Tyson Fury says he's trying to make a fight for his dad, John, on the undercard of his clash against Dillian Whyte, his mandatory challenger. Now, John Fury, as we know, has been looking for fights. I mean, so he says. He's been calling out people like, Dana White was one of them, Mike Tyson, Evander Holyfield, Lennox Lewis, David Haye famously a few years ago. So he's been acting like he wants to fight. There was a guy called Mickey Theo who responded to John Fury's challenge, but John Fury basically said that Mickey Theo isn't a big enough name for him to want to fight him. He said he'd fight Mickey Theo in a bare knuckle and all this kind of stuff. But in terms of in the ring, in a boxing match, at first he agreed, but then he withdrew and said, actually, no, I'm not going to fight you in the ring. It's only going to be bare knuckle, all in, no holds barred type of affair. So if he does fight on Tyson Fury, Dillian Whyte on the undercard, then surely based upon what John Fury has said, we can expect it's going to be a bigger name than Mickey Theo, right? Because if Mickey Theo isn't good enough to fight because he's not a big name, then surely he's only going to accept someone who is, what, a former world champion or somebody we all know, based on what John Fury said before. We'll see whether he's true to his word or whether they just put him in there against somebody completely obscure. What do you guys think? Drop your comments in the comments below. And personally, I'd be really happy if it was actually Mickey Theo. Now, don't get it twisted. If John Fury really doesn't like Mickey Theo and he has a genuine dislike for him, I could understand on some level, right? If you're being smart about it, I could understand on some level why he wouldn't want to fight him, because if he fights Mickey Theo, it gives Mickey Theo a payday, right? Maybe it's a thing where I don't want to give this guy a payday, he's an idiot. But then he's paid him so much attention. He's responded to so many of Mickey Theo's videos. That in itself was giving him attention. So if you just simply didn't want to give the guy attention and you simply didn't want to help him out by allowing him to clout chase, right? Don't respond from the beginning. Just say nothing. Forget about the guy. But John Fury did respond several times. And, well, there's a lot of back and forth shenanigans going on between them. So, yeah, that is what that is. I personally would still like to see John Fury against Mickey Theo because of the fact that they have developed somewhat of a rivalry online, and they could square it all on the undercard of his son against Dillian Whyte. I think that would be a nice novelty fight. Obviously, when you're dealing with guys who are nearly of pension age, John Fury is, I think, 56. According to Mickey Theo, he's actually a couple years older than that, but I'm not sure how Mickey Theo knows that. Mickey Theo is nearly 60, 58, 59. John Fury's around about that age as well. So you'd have to be very, very careful when it comes to the referee and the officials and so on. You do not want to see a couple of granddads end up in hospital seriously hurt. Do you know what I mean? You need to have, let's just say, people who are going to protect fighters of this age even more so than younger fighters. So that's what I'll say about it. But let me know what you guys think in the comments below about the prospect of John Fury fighting on his son's undercard. And give me some names in terms of who you'd like to see John Fury in there with, since he's so determined to fight. And also, yeah, what do you think about a guy that age actually fighting? Do you think it's wrong? Do you think it should be allowed? Let me know.